All right, let's talk Detroit Lions. Obviously, an offseason of change for the Lions, moving off of their top two coordinators. They've doing a great job of filling out the coaching staff so far with some really great hires, and we highlighted them in an earlier video we did. But it looks like the Lions are poised to make one of their smarter hires yet this entire offseason. Not enough people are paying attention to this big move. Could be a nice addition for Detroit. I'm Nick. This is Saturday Morning Inspection. All right, the Lions are looking to fill a key position on their coaching staff, and they're going after a great guy to get it done, thinking outside the box. Let's jump right into this report. This is courtesy of Matt Zenitz over on X. Zenitz posted, the Lions are expected to interview ex-NFL star running back Darren Sproles for a role on their staff, sources tell CBS Sports and 24/7 Sports. Sproles, who is getting into coaching, has been a popular name this cycle, has garnered interest for both college and NFL running back coach jobs. All right, for those of you who are unfamiliar with Sproles' time in the NFL, he was a guy that was short in stature, but incredibly dynamic, could add a lot of value and experience to this Lions coaching staff, a guy with a chip on his shoulder, which is exactly who the Lions are looking to hire. Love this move by the Lions if they're able to pull it off. Miles, I'm curious what your thoughts are on this. But first, Detroit fans, in the comment section below, what do you think of the hypothetical hire of Darren Sproles? And look, by the time you watch this video, maybe they've already hired him. Do you love the addition? Think he's exactly what they need? Do you kind of wish they go a different route? Give us your thoughts on the potential, and maybe by the time you hear this, realistic hiring of Darren Sproles. Put them in the comment section below. But Miles, what are your thoughts on this potential move? And I think it's probably got a good chance of happening for the Lions.
Yeah, Nick, I think this is a great move for the Lions. I think it fits them as a team. We know the Lions love the players coach, and this is as good as it gets when it comes to a players coach. This guy's one of the best in the NFL at being just an all-around back. I mean, heck, he had the most all-purpose yards one season. As far as it goes, being a dynamic playmaker, he's as good as it gets. And who does the Lions have? They have a great dynamic playmaker in Jahmyr Gibbs. I think Sproles' playing style, Gibbs' playing style lines up very, very well. Because you talked about it, Sproles a little bit shorter in stature. You look at a guy like Jahmyr Gibbs, he's not quite as big as a guy like David Montgomery. Montgomery's 5'11", 224. On the other hand, Gibbs 5'9", 5'8"-ish, depending on where you're looking at, 200 pounds. I think that there's a lot to be offered from a guy like Darren Sproles, and I like sometimes when teams, they get coaches that idealize with their players, can have a lot of value. Like, it's like if you get a quarterback coach and they're a pocket passer, but your quarterback is someone like Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, more of a mobile, athletic type of quarterback, they might not get it. They might not have the same skill set, same knowledge of that skill set that you have. But when you get someone who fits up very nicely, like if you were to pair someone like Michael Vick to be a quarterback coach with one of those players I mentioned, it fits much, much better. I think this is a really great move by the Lions, not only getting a great football guy, a great culture guy, one of the more likable guys in the NFL in his time, and someone who has great knowledge and ability to bring to the position. I think this could be a very smart hire for the Lions and help out this running back room tremendously, specifically when we're talking about Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah, and I think it's also part of a really solid job by Dan Campbell and the strategy he's looking to fill out his coaching staff. He's done a great job talking about Campbell, recognizing this offseason, the situation the Lions are in. They're no longer the underdog, they're the favorite. Now it's about capitalizing on opportunities and recognizing you only get so many of these. You need to be focused, you need to be dialed in to make sure you take advantage of it. Because look, obviously, you're not going to be 15-2 every year, right? You're not going to go to the NFC Championship game every year like they did a couple years ago. It's going to get hard. And as Lions fans know, you're a couple bad injuries away from being a Super Bowl contender down to a one and done. It can happen that fast. And I think that's what Dan Campbell's trying to instill in the locker room with his players by bringing in former players who have been and experienced that. Darren Sproles obviously spent a large chunk of his time with the Los Angeles, now Los Angeles, then San Diego Chargers. And that's where the origin of the meme charging kind of started, right? Where the Chargers under Drew Brees and then Philip Rivers for a large time were supremely talented, one of the best rosters in football year in and year out, extremely well coached, and yet push comes to shove in the playoffs or in the final stretches of the regular season, they would find a way to lose. They just find a way to collapse, blow fourth quarter leads, blow big leads with, 3-game leads with 3 games to go, that kind of stuff. That's where it all began with the Chargers. And Sproles was a great player, but he experienced that. And I think Dan Campbell's trying to bring in a guy to try to emphasize, listen, you have got to take advantage of these opportunities. The Lions are a stacked roster right now, undeniably so. It sucks to see Glenn and Johnson leave, but let's be totally honest, they've done a great job filling both those coordinator roles, and this is still one of the top 2 or 3 rosters on paper in the NFL that may be the best when they're 100% healthy. I think right now the Lions just need to shift their culture slightly. Instead of being the fun, scrappy underdog that likes to trick plays, not hating on Ben Johnson, obviously a very smart guy. Hope he goes on and do amazing things with the Chicago Bears. Not too many amazing things though, right, guys? But I think they need to shift their mindset and say, okay, now it's about capitalizing on opportunities, focus on having a sense of urgency. And I think the potential hire of Darren Sproles is another move that allows Dan Campbell to establish that in the culture. This is why Dan Campbell's so good. He's not the best X's and O's guy. He's not the best talent evaluator. Holmes obviously is outstanding at that. He is phenomenal at recognizing and adjusting the culture vibes that need to change. He did it when he first arrived, instilling belief. He did it in the last couple of years, giving this Lions team some swagger. Now he's got to shift it to a sense of urgency, and that's what he's doing. Phenomenal job by Campbell. Great sign for Detroit.